Truck accident cases are some of the most difficult injury claims, not just because of the damage they cause, but how hard the trucking industry fights these type of cases. I'm going to walk you through a real story so you can see what this process actually looks like for a client. I'm Megan Shaw, an attorney with Parrish and Goodman. I work with people dealing with serious injuries after accidents, and truck accidents are some of the most overwhelming and complex situations they face. A client came to us after being hit by a commercial truck on the highway. Let's call him Jim. Jim was in early morning traffic. He was driving himself to work. He was staying in his lane when a large truck drifted over and sideswiped his vehicle, forcing him off the road. The impact caused significant injuries. He had a back injury that required ongoing treatment, along with nerve damage that affected his ability to work. At first, he assumed it would be straightforward. The truck driver was clearly at fault, but very quickly, things became complicated. The trucking company had a legal team involved almost immediately. Their insurance company started investigating right away, and instead of accepting responsibility, they tried to find all the ways they could to shift the blame. They questioned how the accident happened, minimized the injuries, and delayed responses. Meanwhile, he was dealing with pain every single day, missing work, and trying to figure out how to cover his medical bills and survive without income. Then came an initial offer that was far below what he needed, especially considering the long-term impact of his injuries. This is what makes truck accident cases different. You are dealing with a company that has unlimited resources, attorneys, and insurance agents all protecting their bottom line. When he came to Parrish and Goodman, we knew this was going to require a deeper level of investigation and strategy. The first thing we did was take over communication, so he didn't have to deal with the trucking company or their insurance and the back and forth communication. From there, we began building the case. We obtained the truck's data to see exactly what the driver was doing right up to the time of the crash. We also looked into whether there was violations of safety, including hours worked and whether the driver was fatigued. We gathered evidence from the scene and worked with experts to reconstruct exactly how this accident happened. At the same time, we worked closely with his medical providers to ensure that we understood the long-term impacts of his injuries, and not just what he was dealing with immediately, but how it would affect his work and life moving forward. We kept him informed throughout the process so that he felt confident in how his case was moving forward. Because in truck accident cases, it's not just about proving fault. It's about proving the full extent of the damage and standing up to the companies that are prepared to fight hard. In the end, we were able to secure a settlement that reflected the seriousness of what he went through. It accounted for his medical treatment, his lost income, and the long-term impact the injuries would have on his life. But more than that, it gave him stability. He no longer had to worry about how he was going to manage financially while he was recovering. And that is what these cases are really about. If you've been involved in a truck accident, you do not have to take on the trucking company or their insurance team by yourself. Reach out to Parrish and Goodman for a free consultation. We will handle the case, deal with insurance companies, and put you in the best possible position to recover. The right support can make all the difference in how your case turns out.